Alright. So guys, before I start, I always ask everybody I sit with, is there anything off limits?
Is there anything off limits?
Yeah.
Nothing that I can think of. Yeah, okay. we pretty cool.
Alright, so it's gonna be just pretty much of a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything off limits for this show?
Oh no, it's strictly conversation.
Okay. All good.
So, it's your boy Cody Mack here with What's the Word. I'm here again with the Tate brothers, Lahmard and Larenz Tate.
Yo, what up, man?
Yeah.
How you brothers doing today?
Man, life is beautiful. We out here in Shy. It's All-Star Weekend. Do you remember the last time we had All-Star Weekend?
1988. I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, wow.
Say word?
Yeah, I wasn't even born
Wow. So we the old heads over here, man.
Y'all
we the vets in the game.
You making us feel hella old right now, bro. Come
I'm
on.
gonna make y'all feel a little bit even older.
Okay.
How so? Let's see.
Alright, so
Come on,
my
Cody,
first
man.
question.
Okay.
Since we talking about my age in 1991, what does the name Dion Jamal mean to y'all?
Dion and Jamal?
Yeah.
It means Dion and Jamal.
Seeds of tragedy.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay. You know, I gotta say something.
What's that, bro?
This young brother right here is a journalist.
Yeah, a true journalist.
You see, when journalists go and they do some real research about something with some real substance.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that.
Respect to you.
I like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Already. That's dope.
Yeah.
Fire.
So Dion and Jamal. That was I saw that and I'm like, yo.
So for the
yeah,
viewers,
give us some context behind
yeah.
that.
So the viewers, okay. So Dion and Jamal are characters that myself and Lahmard played years ago in a TV miniseries called Seeds of Tragedy.
Yeah.
And basically, the show, the story was about how a seed that was planted in Colombia to make the cocoa plant would grow to then be processed into cocaine and shipped over to
the States,
and how it affects people's lives and tragedy.
Right.
And one of the tragedies was that
My
the market
character,
was
Jamal, was a D-boy.
Yeah.
And I kind of asked my younger brother for a solid to meet me to hand some money off to some dudes, you know what I'm saying? And
got caught in the crossfire. So there's the tragedy.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you brought that up, because that was something that was done, I had to be about 15 years old. That was almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That was almost 25 years ago. 25.
That was our first time ever
working on camera
working together as brothers.
Fast forward, 2020, you see us working together in power as
brothers.
Rashad and Kamal instead of Jamal.
Yeah.
So,
that's fire.
It's interesting you say that because y'all working as brothers now, but y'all got the same last name.
Yeah.
When y'all got that script, did you look at it like?
So when Courtney Kemp, who created the show of Power, had me come on to the show, originally I was gonna play the Terry Silver character, the lawyer, who was helping Ghost get out of prison.
Nah, I couldn't see that.
That's what they had me. They had me, and it just didn't work out. The way the universe works, right? And so that didn't work. But I called sister up and I was like, look, I'm about this black excellence. I still want to do the show. I know it didn't work out for that particular character.
Right.
She says, listen, I got something else. She said, I got this politician character that I'm working on. I said, yeah, what, tell me a little bit about him. She gave me a little rundown on it, and I was like, all right, cool. And she says, the best part of it, I'm naming him Tate. And I was like, yo, that's fire. She says, I'm gonna keep the last name. His name's gonna be Rashad Tate. I said, I love it. And going into the show, Power, I didn't know I would go beyond season 4. Did 4 episodes, didn't think I would go past 5. Went to past 5, got into season 6. I didn't know how long I was gonna last, but she says, listen, I'm gonna bring on some backstory. I'm gonna do a situation where it's gonna be one episode focused on each character. One of them is gonna be you, and we're gonna introduce your family. and we're gonna have your brother, and he's gonna be a police officer. And I'm like, yo, dope. And she's like, we should think about what actors we wanna play your brother. And I was like, it's only one.
Your brother.
My brother.
Why not?
And she was like, genius, that makes sense. Let's do it. And so the fact that we're able to keep the Tate name out there, that's dope. It's fire.
Yeah.
That's actually that's legacy right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
So Lamar, what was you doing when you got that call? And what was your reaction when you got the call?
I was currently filming a show that I'm on called All American, but
I watched that show faithfully.
no doubt. And I was at the crib. I was at home chilling, probably watching some TV, a game or something. And he was like, "What's up with you? What you got going?" Larenz hit me up, and I said, "I'm chilling, man." I said, "What's good?" He said, "Your number's been called." I said, "I know, you just dialed me up. What you mean?" And he said, "No, man, you coming to play." I said, "Say no more, man." And it was history in the making, man. It was history in the making. So yeah, I was at the crib probably watching a little basketball. So I was ready to come put my numbers up on the scoreboard.
So now you talking about the All-American character, because me and
Yeah.
my mom, shout out to my mom, because me and her, that's like our thing. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, by missing on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays we get
You
together
watch
and
it.
make sure we watch the show.
Respect.
So that's our thing.
That's nice.
You went from playing this, I want to say, a almost performed game banger,
Right.
conscious game banger,
Right.
to playing a cop. What was the mind switch, or by you being so much of a professional, it wasn't that hard to switch?
Well, definitely hard to switch in the sense that, like you said, a guy who's living in the inner city, being a conscious man who dealt with little, ins and outs, and then going to be a cop, it was something different for me in that sense. And the preparation was just not focusing so much on the fact that I gotta be a cop, but be in the moment of a cop. Mm-hmm. And so, it was a different experience, but I think I was up for that task.
I was happy that this was something that he would be able to, really just dive into, do something different, because we had seen him as Keefe D also recently. Unsolved, the Tupac and Biggie story. And I thought,
sorry, I didn't catch that one, bro.
But he played something that was kind of similar to that, and I was like, yo, this will be dope to play a police officer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like sort of a whole different
look.
Yeah,
a
and
different dynamic.
Mario Van Peebles is a dope director.
Yeah.
Was directing our episode, man. So I was happy that Marvel had that opportunity.
Nah, man, that was a great one, man. I was appreciative, man. It was a special time, so it was good. It was good.
So,
Sorry.
I saw the last episode. It seemed like Power was giving everybody their own book.
Right.
So, when you start talking about books, is this like a mini series? How will it?
Well, no, they're going to be series. Mm-hmm. So each of the Power books are spinoffs. Mm-hmm. So you're going to follow the life and the world that particular or those particular characters in. Okay. So the Ghost, that stars Mary J. Blige, that's about like her world and her empire and what she's doing. And Tariq being a conduit to get through all that and seeing what this mother-son dynamic now is. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna, get a chance to see what Tariq and Tasha up to, and they're gonna be a few people from Power. They're gonna be in there, but also the prequel, the Kanan prequel. So you see Kanan when he's young before he meets Ghost and Tommy. So this is like sort of like a period piece in a way, like. This is like a kind of a throwback, with the music.
We see why Kanan's such a street.
Yeah.
I mean,
the why he a goon the way he is, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of the right word to call him, man, because he passed goon.
Right? Yeah, he on something else. Yeah, Kanan on something else. They got that. They're working on that, and then you got the political, the political world. With Councilman Rashad.
I think, and honestly, I think that's the one that I'm most interested in watching.
Nice.
Mainly, for one, I want to see the dynamic of you two as brothers, because a thing for me is that me and my brother, we both like we work. I feel like we work together.
Nice.
And I like to see stuff like that. And I know y'all got y'all production company, so I see that y'all trying to build the Tate legacy.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I see that's dope. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
appreciate that. Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about something that is just as corrupt and grimy and gritty as the streets.
Right.
Is politics.
And I was about to get into that too.
Yeah, like we seen it play out in real time, and it would be nice to kind of really open up and see it from our perspective.
Right.
What's going on, and seeing from a black man's journey and a black man's perspective of what politics really is about, and how he decides to navigate through his political journey and climbing up that political ladder.
Exactly.
And what it means, and what it means to his family, and what it means to the community, and what we can learn as an audience that we don't always get a chance to see and hear, because
Right.
you know, we as black folk don't run the media like that. I mean, this is part of what we run, and this is great. So that's why we support media outlets like yourself, but like having our own narrative with that perspective. And I think that's gonna be really important to see.
I appreciate that, but I appreciate y'all giving us the time to black, because
Sure.
Chicago All-Star Weekend, we very underrepresented in
Yeah.
All-Star stuff, especially the black media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
We in Chicago. You guys are from Chicago. A lot of people know that. The Bronzeville thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, Bronzeville.
What's up with that? Because I think the podcast was amazing, right?
Right. Thank you.
But I would love to see, or do you guys have plans of making that into a series or a visual? Because that's a rich part of Chicago culture that
Of course.
people don't know. Like, people don't know lottery came from policy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're hitting it on the nose.
Yeah.
So we did this audio series, Bronzeville. Season 1, of course, 20 million downloads and still counting. We just finished up the second season for the audio series that'll be dropping in the second quarter of this year.
It'll be spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from that, man, we definitely are cultivating the TV series for Bronzeville.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on that now, and so we're hoping that we can get to the TV series of the Bronzeville from the audio series, and to get that whole world. Hopefully, we can start getting to that in 2021.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
but it takes time. Y'all, may know, like, filmmaking takes a lot of time before you can actually film things and then get it out to the public and get it to where we need it to go. But we want to make sure that we protect the integrity of the storytelling, as we've done already
In
with the audio series
and
So,
the
yeah.
richness of it. You know, like you said, being that it's in the city of Bronzeville in Chicago, and it's a true place, and the history behind what this is all about. Like you mentioned, the Policy King. A lot of people don't know that this was a well-to-do family who, moved on from, racketeering in numbers, and then got into the political world. They were self-sufficient in building the community of Bronzeville with the first black bank, first black hospital, libraries, the schools, the department stores. And they, from there, like you said, they had to kind of move away from what it started from by building this community. And then, other people took over, and then the government got involved in this, what's known as the Illinois lottery.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a few more questions for you guys. I know you guys got to get up out of here. This question is for both of you, right? So you guys have played in some legendary films, right?
Thank you.
My favorite film of yours is Don't Be a Menace.
Yes, sir.
It's a classic.
A classic movie.
Yeah.
So what was the conversation like? Because you played in Menace to Society.
Right.
I know,
What
right?
was the conversation like when they basically did a spoof of your movie and had your brother in it?
You know what? I support it. I thought it was dope, because the great minds of the Wayans family,
Yeah.
to spoof all these classic films and sort of, poke fun at it in a way. I thought it was cool.
Was that a strategic move to get?
No,
get you
I
in
had
there?
nothing to do with that. That was
No.
Lahmard. I had nothing to do with that. That was all Lahmard going in there, rocking and working with the Wayans brothers
Wayans.
on his own. That was something he earned and got on his own. I had nothing to do with it. I was just, pleasantly surprised to see. And one thing at the very end, he was like, "Yo, we added something at the very end that you'll be surprised on." He didn't want to tell me. It was the dead presidents part at the very end where the grandmama come out. She get the dumping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's in the dumpster, you get the popping. I was like, so, no, that was nice to see that, but that was all Lahmard. And when we went to go see it in the theaters, man, we was on the flow. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was a screening, there was a big premiere and all that stuff, but we also went to the movie theaters to go see it.
We wanted to see what the audience really felt outside of, you know, the entertainers, if you would. And it read well, man.
Everybody loved that movie, man. We went to go see it.
Listen, to be able to do that, but honor also all those great iconic movies that we had. The Menace to Society, the Dead Presidents, the what's that, South Central, and all these different movies, man.
They basically poke fun at the things we were thinking.
Exactly.
Like he played Ashtray's dad, right?
Yeah.
Now, in real life, we know that Cuba Gooding Jr. couldn't be Lawrence Fishburne's son.
Right? They're the same age, man. So you we were making light of what we saw in the movie of Boys in the Hood that we was probably just looking at the screen like, man, that ain't true. So you know, it was a fun little time. Fun little time, man.
All right. So this is a question. That was a great period of movies. Actually, y'all had it. That was great. I think if it wasn't for guys like you guys, seeing you guys growing up, it's like I don't think I could be here. You know, especially like because you was in Jason Lyrics as well, right?
Yeah, man.
Like it's like it's crazy sitting here talking to y'all because I literally watched y'all grow up. I mean, part of my growing up was watching y'all.
Yeah, man. That's love.
Appreciate that.
I see you guys when you guys talking through interviews a lot. Y'all speak a lot about integrity in film and like making sure scripts are right. This is a question I like to ask all like people in Hollywood, my brothers and sisters in Hollywood. Do you feel like right now, are we really finally getting like black African Americans? Are we getting out finally just doing Hollywood, or they just rocking with us right now because they feel like being black is the thing, and they can capitalize?
That's a very good question. There's no easy answer to that question other than I think that Hollywood is certainly cashing in on black is hot now. But also at the same, they had to recognize we always been hot. We knew we've been hot since we've been doing what we've been doing.
Exactly.
And the fact that we can now have a few more seats at the table is definitely better, but we need to have more seats at the table. And I'm always encouraging us as a people to create our own tables and sit there. And we can then invite who we want to come sit at our table, as opposed to always wanting to sit at somebody else's table.
True.
Now, Hollywood is not ran by black people. Make no mistake of that. That's no secret. And if you thought it was a secret, I'm telling you it ain't.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Message.
Black people do not, when I say run it, meaning we don't own that many studios. There's a couple black folks that own it, but in terms of like your super major across the board distribution companies, it's not a lot of black people that run it, that own it, that actually have, you know, a lot of black people have stake in it, and that is going to be a generational thing for us. It's only a couple.
Word, man.
Only a couple.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we can't continue to work with those major companies because we should, and we obviously should work for the black companies that do run distribution companies in Hollywood. But I also always encourage to create content, continue to do it, because when we have the content that reflects us, how do we see ourselves?
Exactly.
You know, and how can we continue to elevate the way we see ourselves?
Yeah.
I always encourage people to don't allow other folks to be the leading researchers of our history and leading researchers of our stories.
Yeah.
We need to do that. We need to take responsibility. And the more we can learn about our history that is not, you know, lost, it's just buried.
Right.
A lot of it is buried in, you know, information in books. A lot
Mistold stories, basically, of our true excellence. and richness within, and that's something that it's lost, right? And so
I don't think it's lost.
no, I'm saying it's lost
buried.
because it's buried,
Right.
and we're now resurfacing to allow ourselves to see it.
And we have to, and the more we know about ourselves and the more that we learn the information from ourselves,
yeah.
I think that it allows us to create better content. And so when you see, you know, stories that are being told so much more from us, it's important for us to write, direct, produce, star, act, distribute.
Yeah.
We gotta continue to do that. That's important.
Yeah.
And so when we see, you know, young journalists that are doing things the way that you're doing, and you're doing it for the culture, it's shown that it can be done and how to do it.
Exactly.
Create, you know,
The
way,
narrative
the
of
narrative, and lead that way. It's so important. It's so important. We always encouraging, you know, us to do things collectively and unify. The more we can unify,
Groupisms, man.
we're so much better. And I don't want to feel like I'm on a soapbox here, man. But
No,
I feel like this, man. In anything that we do as a people, as black people, individualism only works to a certain extent for us. Mm-hmm. The idea of the American individual success story. I'm gonna. We're stronger with we. We always are better. We always are better when we're doing with numbers in groups. And we can all get it. Mm. As opposed to just I. That concept just doesn't work.
Right. It's a ceiling effect to it. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to do for self, but once you've done for self, now add on to that.
You got to. We got to do it. We got to do things.
Your foundation is much stronger that way.
Yeah. So we always doing that. So when we talk about the project Bronzeville, it is about black folks being self-sufficient. They started it. Black people who didn't think that, you know, coming out of the South, Jim Crow, where, you know, just going in the wrong neighborhood or drinking from a fountain can literally get you lynched and killed from drinking from a water fountain. That they like this, like America ain't for us. But when they got to Bronzeville and they started creating a community where, you know, they ran numbers, but they say, you know, what we're gonna do, what we talk about now, buy back the block. Mm-hmm. You can't really represent and say, this is my hood if you don't own it.
Right.
But they understood that. They said, so why don't we do this? Why don't we own that hotel? Why don't we own that liquor store? Or let's own that restaurant. Or let's own that cleaners. Let's own this hospital. That's how you buy back the block, and that's how you can create a community. That's what everybody in America has done.
Right.
And they did it as a group.
Financial wealth is what it is.
They did it as a group. That's how all of it, that's how it works. No one person came over here and did it without their group. Italians, what did? They did it with the Italians. Irish, they did it with the Irish. It goes on. You know, Polish people did it with the Polish people. You know, Jewish people do it with Jewish community. Black folks thrive when we do it together. As opposed to saying, well, come on, y'all gotta give us something. Man, they don't want to give you anything. So you gotta take it and make it your own, and you build out your own. And it's okay. We're not excluding anybody. Everybody's money is good, mm-hmm. But let's create our own. And so we always are trying to encourage that, you know what I mean? So whatever you're doing, and to your supporters and the people who it's easy for me to say this, and I know it's tough, but if you start finding like-minded people, those are the ones who are going to, we all like-minded. Those are the ones who are going to start excelling.
Right.
Because what we're saying is not so complex. It's not too critical of what we're saying. It's okay to have a critical analysis. It's okay to have a critical conversation.
Right.
We shouldn't run from it. It's okay. I know sometimes we have to deal with so much tough things on our day-to-day. No, just tough day-to-day stuff,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
But every now and again, it's okay to have, hey man, how do we go ahead and, you know, run this business together? How do we go ahead and do something? Sister here might have some endeavors that you may have. You go find like-minded people, do it together.
Right.
That's the way it's gonna work. And then you find out everybody's role and position and what we're gonna do, and we all eat.
Yeah. And
If that makes
eliminate
sense.
doubt. You know, that's one of the biggest things that we have amongst ourselves as a people, man. We doubt each other.
And that's because
just how we work.
and that, do you know what that is? Lack of trust.
Of course.
That's
Of
what you.
course.
That's it. You doubt because I don't trust. We starting to me and my brothers and my father, my mother, and my family, all of our families. We're just about unlearning all the stuff that we learned, especially being in the business that we've been.
Mm-hmm.
Like we learned a lot of stuff, but we have now unlearned
it.
a lot of stuff to learn
Relearn it.
what we
Something
supposed to
new.
be.
Yep.
So we trust each other, man.
Man, bro, that was just amazing.
Yeah.
That was just amazing. I feel like our viewers at home, they gonna really appreciate what you just gave us right there.
Appreciate that.
I wish y'all so much success on the
Thank
journey.
you.
I'll be tuning in to Power. I'll be watching All American. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
real talk.
They got a smoke ship. I forget what they call it on there.
That's what's up. That's
Tyrone.
Yeah, Tyrone. Yeah, Tyrone. We got to smoke Tyrone, man.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, bro.
Well, appreciate
All
your
is
time.
love,
Bless.
man. Bless.